We're recording.
All right, great. So I think we're logged into the rnode test server that we're trying to set up. It's going to be community run. So we're going to take a crack at getting rnode 0.5 installed here, see how far we get, and then see if we can connect to it, or if not, at least hopefully get some demos of how to run Rowlang code. I think David, you were telling me in Discord you were having trouble getting Rowlang to run, correct?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, great. So I guess let's just do the best we can here, and we'll see where the spirit moves us to go and see what we end up getting done. So the first thing I want to do is actually download the Debian package. Oh yeah, this is Ubuntu, right? Okay, so yeah, we want the Debian package here. Oh Jim, you've got the screen share actually. So I'm going to get this from developer.rchain.coop. I don't know if you want to show that or not.
You can share the screen. It's interesting that when we're in the console here, I can see you typing.
I know. I had like Inception thoughts for a second there. I wasn't sure how I was sharing. Okay, let's see. Share screen. All right, you guys got me? You got my screen?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So I'm at developer.rchain.coop, and I'm just going to grab this deb file right here. So if you're doing this on your local system, you can just save it to wherever you want to save it. Since I'm doing it on the server, I'm actually just going to copy the link location. And then over in the terminal here, let's just see what's in our home directory. Whoops. Oh, someone already downloaded it. That's awesome.
This is the right one?
Let's see. It sure looks like it.
That's what
051.
Dan downloaded on Saturday.
Oh, that's interesting. This might be one that came from Pirate, which might have been dev. I think we should grab this one just because it's been officially released now. So it shouldn't look much different, but we'll definitely have the latest one this way. So I'm just going to wget this thing. Oh, but I can't paste there. All right. Well, that's okay.
Okay. I'm wondering if
I'm just doing it
better if we just went through the install on your own machine.
Well, we'll just see. It looks like I got it right, so we're in luck. We'll switch over to my machine whenever we have to. Let's see how far we get. Okay, great. So I'm going to just do it this way. I think a lot of people. Well, I'll try. Let's try apt. Oh, no tab completion here either.
That's pretty. You can use asterisks.
Yeah, but it's going to want one file. Not, well, let's see. You're right. Let's just try it. Yeah, I'm not as. I know that apt is the right way to do this because it'll pull in dependencies. I just don't know the command line for apt, so I'm just going to do it how I know how. dpkg is the Debian package system. -I means install, and then we're going to install this file. 5.1.dev. And we just installed over the old one, so we're actually all good. The dependencies had already previously been installed. So that's great. So I believe it should be as simple as just rnode, rnode run. So this looks pretty good, I guess.
Does?
No gateway devices found. No need to open any port. dash dash host was not provided, guessing your external IP. Okay. Pretty slow.
Well, as far as we got on Friday was to the PEM secret keys being created.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Were you guys trying to create a standalone node or bootstrap node?
Yeah, I didn't do that this time, but yeah, we probably should have, right? That's what we wanted, I guess. Oh, I don't know how to control C here either.
Control C doesn't work.
It didn't seem to. Oh no, I guess it did. Wow, wow. No, I don't know. Okay, let's see what happened there. Can we scroll back through the output? So this, the very top line that's on the screen right now, protocol handshake to peer node, ACD, all this long junk. I know that that's the public bootstrap node. Oh yeah, attempt 3 of 5, attempt 4 of 5, 5 of 5. So we were unable to connect to their official bootstrap node. So let's see if we can run a standalone node. The -S is for standalone.
I think to connect to a bootstrap node, you have to specify the bootstrap node that is running at the moment. So maybe we could go to the chance server to get a bootstrap node from Medal that is currently running.
Oh, okay, that's great. I didn't realize that. Is that over here? Is this what you're thinking of, David?
Yes, the node testing channel. Yes, yes. If you scroll down, I think there was one he released today that is running.
Is it this? You can still see my screen, right?
Okay, let's try this. Let's try this.
This one I have highlighted? Whoops.
Yes, let's try that, yeah.
Okay. So, well, in the meantime, it looks like standalone worked fine. So you're saying Control C this and try again? Let's read the help real quick. I'm on my local. This terminal now is my local system. I just want to read the help here. So, David, you're saying we should use -- bootstrap, right? This one?
Yes. Is it double dash or one dash?
Long
okay,
option,
dash. Okay.
Dashes, short
That's
option.
if you're using the short flag, it's just -B.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So I feel like I don't have a ton of control over this console. I don't know if it got my Control C or what's going on.
Yeah, I think unfortunately.
Oh, there we go. Let's try it. Let's try it here on my local system, and then if we are super successful, we'll try it again back on the server. What do you guys think of that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair enough. That's fair enough.
Does this look right, David? Is that how you do this?
Okay, yes, let's try that.
Ooh, this is interesting. The default data directory changed. No more var_lib rnode.
Yes, I think for this new version, it creates a data directory itself.
Wow, that is awesome. I'm
It
so
doesn't
happy
use the
they did
default,
that.
the older data.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's why is that you either the your network configuration it's not configured for Bootstrap node to run.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually remember for sure. This is why I've been running standalone. I just remembered because same reason I can't SSH out of here. I can't use rnode out of here because the network is too limited. So I think you're right, David. Do you want to take the screen share and try this, or do you want to try to run some Roland code locally before we make that switch? I'm confident that I can.
Yes. Because I already have a standalone node running.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. So let's try this.
Okay. So let's try. Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead, David. What do you want to see?
Okay. I said let's try running starting the node repel, then running Roland code.
Deal.
I think that's where I was having an error on Linux. It worked well on Windows.
Okay. Yeah. Great. Let's try it. I think that's a good idea. So I'm going to run my standalone node in this terminal. I guess while that's going, I don't need to leave root access open right here. That's probably safer. Okay, so it looks like it's coming up fine, and we're going. So this node is running. It's just waiting for incoming requests. So I'm actually going to start a brand new terminal. So you can see I've got tabs here. You guys can see that, right? So like this tab is my
Okay.
running.
Yes, we can.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So over here, I'm going to do this rnode REPL. So we're in the REPL now, and if I type, malformed Roland code, it's gonna tell me so. But then if I type something valid, so let's do like on some channel. This is the simplest channel there is, right? 0 is the stopped process, and I can quote it. Then I want to write just a 0. And so you can see that this send is sitting there in the tuple space now. So, okay, that's cool. This is basically saying take this channel at 0 and send on it the process 0. So we can do really similar things here for all kinds of literals. At 1, send 1, for example, or at some giant number, send 0. So every time I do one of these, I'm adding something to the tuple space. They're all just parred in there. I know Kent from the co-op had this cool way of saying this in a presentation that I really liked. He said, the state of the blockchain is really represented here in the tuple space in the storage contents. And we affect that tuple space by just parring in. So so far we've parred in these 3 things. So these are all sends. Let's see what happens if we do a receive. So the Roland syntax for a receive is for, and then some variable, we'll just call it x. And what channel do we want to receive on? Well, we've got 3 options here that we just sent, so why not receive on at 0? I'm going to try to receive this send. Well, what do I want to do with it? I don't need to do anything with it right now because we're starting simple. So remember, it's saying receive some message that we'll call x and receive it on this channel at 0. Well, what got sent on at 0? Something right here. And when we receive, we're not going to do anything. So there's not going to be any interesting output to see. But what we should hope is that this send then gets consumed. So the send that I have highlighted should be consumed by the receive that I'm typing right now. And so it is. These 2 sends are still present, but that at 0 bang 0 is gone because we just consumed it.
Sweet.
Yeah, okay, cool. So that's one good part. David, do you want to try to debug whatever issue you're having or address that directly, or should we look at other, like we could do hello
Okay.
world, or we could try to make the server work, or whatever you guys want to do next?
Okay, I think we can move on. Interestingly, I just tried running a Rolang on Node Rebel, and it worked. I don't know what happened. I don't know why it was throwing an error formerly, but now
Yeah.
it's working perfectly.
Wonderful, congratulations.
All right, thanks.
Yeah. Okay. So should we, let's try hello world, I guess. So if
Okay, all right, that was fine.
do you want to take, actually, David, have you done this before? Do you want to take the lead, or do you want me to do it? I'll give it a try.
Okay, I think you should do it because
Okay.
part of my knowledge in Rolang was because of your tutorial. So
Oh,
I think,
nice. Oh, thank you. Okay. Yay. So the idea about creating channels to send on here is that you have to quote some process, but literal values in Rolang are all considered processes. So for example, 0 was a process, 1 was a process, whatever this long number is, that's a process. And string literals are also processes, so like std out or standard out. So we make it a name by quoting it. At standard out, it takes the standard out process and makes it into a name or a channel. So the thing I have here is a channel. I'm going to send on it, and I'm going to send hello world. I'm excited about it. All right, so we ran it, but notice that unlike before, the storage contents, or the tuple space as it's known, is not affected at all. This at standard out hello world did not appear in the tuple space, and the reason that that happened is because there's already something built in to consume that, and it's trying to find it in here, right here. So this thing that's already in the tuple space by default, it receives messages on standard out. So the one I just sent got consumed by this one. And so the only question left is like, well, what the heck? I thought that was going to print to the screen. And the really unintuitive part is that the screen printing actually happens over here on the node. So every time we issued Rolang code, you can see it said evaluating that code. So here's the first 3 we did that were just sending numbers. The 4th one that was a receive. And here's the 5th one that we sent. It's evaluating the send on standard out. And then here's the result. It actually just printed standard out to the screen. Or printed hello world to the screen, I guess. So we can do as many of those as we want. More words. And we can even do a couple of them at once. So let's try 2 of them. Remember, the par means do these things concurrently. So at the same time, I'm sending more words, and then I'm sending collab rocks. So let's go see what the output was. Here's the code that we're evaluating, and here's the result. So that's pretty good. All right, what do you guys think? What do you want to see next?
I guess my question would be that the output here, hello world, I guess I don't understand the at braces.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, why does it have the quotes and everything instead of just the text? That's a really good question. I don't know if they plan to make that nicer so that the screen actually outputs exactly the content that you told it to. I I'm very confident. I'd say I'm like 85% confident that in the current node, there's no way around that. What I do know, so this might be relevant, when in Rolang, whenever you send something, you send a process. But then on the other side, when you receive that same message, it's received as a name. It's basically received as a quote of the process you sent. So the process I sent was this one, more words. So what got received on the other end was a quote of that process at more words. So I think that might give some context about why it's happening. I don't think I'm sure they could write an implementation where that wouldn't happen, at least for standard out.
Okay, well, we write on standard out more words.
Sorry, I want to.
But that's that's a.
Okay.
The result is a process too, right?
The result here is a name. You can tell because it's quoted with the @ sign. Like this stuff right here, you mean, for example?
Yeah, well, above that, you have standard out is a process, right?
Standard out itself is a process, but @ standard out is a name.
Okay, so we're taking the name and we're writing on the name.
So let's look at the one where we did it on this one.
The name is a channel?
Yeah, name and channel are synonyms. That's correct. Yeah. Yeah. So for example, like on this one, if I just go one step at a time, I guess, standard out here, what I have highlighted now is a process. And that's true whether or not we include the curly braces. So this is still also a process. But as soon as you put that @ sign in front of it, that quotes the process. And so that turns it into a name, AKA channel.
Right.
Yeah, and so once it's a channel, then we can use this bang sign to send on it. And what am I sending? Well, I'm sending this process. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, that's not so bad. So one thing I can show is how to execute code from a file. We could try that. I don't know, whatever you guys think is the best use of our time.
Would you like to see something, David?
You mean using propose flag?
Ooh, we could try. Yeah, we could try to make some deploys and propose a block if you want to.
Yeah, I think I've worked with that before, but only on Docker. I haven't done that using the Debian package.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, let's try it. I should mention I have to go at about 5:05 today. I have a meeting with Patrick McGuire soon. So deploy. Oh, I missed it. Here it is. Deploy a Rolang source file to Casper. Okay, so we need to get some code in a file. So let's try that. At 0 bang 0 par at 1 bang 1. So basically, I'm just making a really simple program here. Oh, that's not correct. So that we can have something to actually deploy. Oh, no file name. Oh, no. Well, shoot. All right, so here's the file I just made, prog1.row. It's right in my home directory. So let's just try it, rnode deploy. Does this look like how you did it before, David?
It was done on Docker, so the commands are quite different.
Okay. Well, it says success. That seems good. Let's see what we got over here. This is the new log message. It says received deploy.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, and I'm sorry to cut you short. I think running rnode on using Linux is way easier than using Docker. The commands are much simpler, and so
I agree with you completely.
okay, go on.
Well, yeah. I mean, when you run on Docker, like 2/3 of the command is just getting Docker to work, and only the last little bit is the actual rnode command. So I agree with you there.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So, all right, let's put 2 deploys in here. So I'm going to copy prog1 to prog2, and then just change it a little bit. Okay, so let's try it again. rnode deploy, whoops, prog2. Okay, so we got a second deploy.
Okay, Josh.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm quite new to Linux. I just recently installed Ubuntu 18.0 for my system. I'm still trying to familiarize myself with it. So, the Vim you did, the Vim command you did, does it come natural with Linux, or I have to install it?
Yeah. You'll have to install it, but Vim is just a text editor. You can use any text editor you want. So, like, for example, you probably get it installed by default, so you can use that. And then I opened up. So, like, here's my program, for example. Do you have gedit installed, David?
Okay. Let me check that.
Okay.
Okay, I think I do have that.
Wonderful. So if you want to just make a file that looks
Yes,
similar.
I think that comes natural with.
Yeah, I agree. I think Ubuntu has gedit installed.
Yeah.
Okay, but gedit won't run over SSH.
Yeah, correct. That's right.
Okay.
So, well, David, here's something really useful that I will show you. This is tangential, but I think a lot of our viewers might find this useful. If you want to install a program, you're on Ubuntu, right?
Yes.
So here's your command. Sudo, that makes you root temporarily. apt-get is like a package manager. It's going to install, well, when I give it the install command, it's going to install whatever packages I specify here. And Vim is one of them. But there are lots of good command line editors, but Vim is just the one that I know. I just don't know how to use the others.
Okay. Then CP stands for?
CP, like I typed up here, stands for copy. So I had already made prog1.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm going to copy the contents over to prog2.row.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks.
Yeah, man, you're welcome. No problem. Let me show you this too. Most Linux distributions come with some kind of graphical package manager. So like I have Synaptic here. I think Ubuntu might have its own, but the concept is going to be similar. And the concept is you can search for packages graphically. So I can like search for Vim, for example. And well, let me do that again. I want to only search in the name. And so here's Vim, for example. That's how I installed that one. I guess this one. So there's lots of good ways to install programs, just a kind of a quick crash course on using Linux.
Right. Now, our...
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Yeah, man, you're welcome. What are you thinking, Jim?
most newbies use Nano editor.
Oh yeah, I think Nano might even come installed by default. Yeah, it totally did.
Yeah, and when we're editing files on the cloud, we have to using SSH. We have to use something like Nano,
Yeah, something text-based, Nano or Vim or
right, or Emacs.
Okay, I think you're right. Nano comes pre-installed.
yeah,
Nano
yeah,
comes pre-installed, yeah.
yeah, great.
I just accessed mine now.
So here it is. I just don't know it. Jim, do you know how I can edit here, for example?
You just
Just type. Oh, that is pretty convenient. So how do I save? Is that one of these?
you have to do a Control X,
Oh,
and then you have to enter.
got it. Let's see if that worked. Yeah, it totally worked. There's my file. Great. Let's deploy it again. So we got 3 deploys, that's good. And so I guess, I don't know, maybe we can propose. I've never tried the propose before. My understanding is that this is gonna propose a block to all the Casper validators. Doesn't seem like it did anything over here. I also don't know how that works when there's only one node in the network. All right. Well, guys, I think that about exhausts what I'm like really prepared to show today.
Yeah, I think you're late for your next meeting.
Yeah, I should jump off pretty quick.
All right, Joshi.
I hope
It
that
was great having you around.
cool. David, I know you've been attending the node testing on Tuesday mornings, right?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, so I think one area that you're a lot more experienced than me is actually knowing how to run this on the network, because I'm pretty good at the standalone stuff and the Rolang stuff, but I don't really know how to like connect to Bootstrap. I'm a couple weeks out of date on that. So if you want to show that sometime, I think that would be helpful.
Okay, but firstly, I have to get my internet doesn't work with universal plug and play, so I have to fix that up first.
Oh, okay. I did hear on the community update, Meta said she had some kind of like network configuration document, but I haven't found it yet. I don't really know how that's all going.
Yeah, it's in the pinned message. Once you go to the node testing and you check the pinned message, you find it there.
What we did when we were running scenario nodes in the pre-Archain days is we would expose ports on people's local machines using SSH, an SSH tunnel, so that whatever, I don't know what ports Archain uses, but we could expose ports pretty easily on a cloud server from our local machine without having to go through that network nightmare.
Yeah. This seems like a good doc. This is going at the top of my reading list. Yeah. All right, guys.
Very good.
I'm going to stop my share.
Okay, I will, if I...
Actually, I can't figure out how to stop again. Jim, can you just take it back?